Hi everyone, welcome to Tigner Adventures. We are here in Yuma, Arizona for the summer. Oh no, I keep doing that. It's winter here. but we're going to be talking about our summer 22 adventure. So that's what we're working on today. We got Tansy. We're enjoying the fire this morning and our clam. We are just having a good old time. But we need to go through the summer, what we did, and the summary of what all the costs were. I'm sure all of you are interested in that. So I am wearing this shirt. What does it actually say? An elf I'm not, with Yoda. So we actually celebrated Thanksgiving yesterday. So we actually arrived here in Yuma October 13th, and so a month has already gone by, a little over a month now, and time is flying. So our videos have finally caught up, and we're going to give you a summary of what we've done this summer, and then we're going to talk about what the plan is for next year. And people are saying, you're already planning next summer? And it's like, yes, because a month's already gone by. It's going to be like
5 months left.
Tomorrow we'll be saying, hey, it's the end of the tour and it's time to get back on the road again. So, and we got a lot of things to do maintenance wise and everything. So let's see, the first thing I want to mention is I want to talk about our website. I got it done. That was a chore, by the way. But this is our website, tigneradventures.com. And if you notice up here, we do have a menu bar with a little gallery of our pictures and things. Blog that we'll be kind of updating here and there, and then it also has our affiliate items. So for example, we are a Amazon affiliate, so if you use this link here or any of these links that are listed here, we get credit. It doesn't cost you any extra, but we get credit for it. So that's an easy way to find our affiliate links and help us out, so we do appreciate that a lot. Then also we have our links for our partners that we've partnered with. And then also the contact. So if you'd like to give us your information, if you give us your phone number, then we'll text you. We can text back and forth, especially if you'd like us to come and see you on our trip. That works out really handy. But we'll get your email, and we can email back and forth. That you can ask us questions or say you want certain things on our channel, but you want it in a more private setting. That works really nice. And then the next thing is that we want to talk about our trip. So this was our summer 2022 map. We actually had a very large area that we covered this last summer, and we had a lot of fun. So again, we're using RV Trip Wizard to map out all of our trip data. We do all of our planning with it. Gas station stops, nightly stops, whatever we do is all done with RV Trip Wizard, and we are an affiliate with them. We also have a 25% discount coupon, so if you would be interested in trying it out, they do have a 7-day demo, but you can try out the software for the 7 days, and if you want to sign up, you get 25% off. So the first year of your subscription. It is a subscription-based software package. So, and it's not just the mapping software. They also have other apps that are inside of RV Life Pro, which is what the membership is, and it allows you to actually maintain your rig, keep a maintenance log and things like that too. So there's a lot of different little things, and they get you articles to read and things like that to help you out. So it's a pretty nice little company, and I've not found anything that comes close to doing what these guys do, all booked together here. So it's pretty nice. So, but if you look down here at the bottom, you'll notice we have done 180 nights of stays. So we want to go ahead and break that trip down for you. So again, 180 nights. So what did it cost for this trip this last summer? We did, the first thing we're going to talk about is our camping. So we want to talk about camping and kind of tell you where we stayed, what we did, how much all that cost came to. And basically, out of our 180 nights, our average was 400, or
wow.
Yeah, our average was $4.99 a night for those 180 nights.
Said he could say 5. But...
Yeah, 5. So $5 a night is what we averaged out for each one of those nights of 180 days. So 180 days, 6 months, that's not a bad price at all. The total cost was just shy of $900 is what we actually paid out for 6 months of parking different places. So, and the way that actually breaks down is we actually did boondocking. That's our favorite thing to do, but out of the 180, we only did 26 nights, so that cost us $0. That was out on BLM land, things like that. Also, rest stops, we called boondocking, okay? And then from there, we went to family and friends. So some of you invited us to stay at your place. We stayed at our family's place. When we stayed at our daughter's place, we were there for 72 nights there, and so we did, and we had to run the AC 24/7 because it was so dang hot. Georgia, and humid,
summer.
right? The AC unit, the water was just pouring out of it because there was so much humidity in the air. But that came out to basically about $2 a night. We paid them for our power that we were using, and we calculated that out by using our Watchdog surge protector. It actually tracked what the power usage was. And so it was real easy to figure that out, figure out what they have to pay for each one of those kilowatt hours. And so we just kind of averaged it out to basically about $2 a night. So then the next thing we did was Boondockers Welcome. When we signed up for Boondockers Welcome, which we are affiliates for also, but when we signed up, it was $30. It's a lot more than that. It's almost double that now, but that allows you to go park at people's houses. And so I took that $30 and I divided it by the number of nights that we actually used Boondockers Welcome. And so that actually came out to, we only stayed 8 nights, so that came out to $3.75 a night. The problem with Boondockers Welcome and mainly Harvest Host, even worse, is that most of the time you're not by any of those places. So unless you're making some special diversion to go to them, you don't necessarily find them. And so sometimes these memberships are not worth the money that you're paying for them and everything. So, but that worked out. I mean, for the price we're paying for Boondockers Welcome, we keep that just because you can't ever get that price again. And it is fun to use that from time to time, and it's worked out well for us. The next place we stayed was Elks Lodges. We joined the Elks Club Lodge here in Yuma this last year. I did not figure in the cost of that membership, which is $110 a year here. Elks Lodges are different prices depending on where you join, but here it was $110. And so we did 20 nights at an Elks Lodge, and those averaged out to $13.75 a night. So not bad. RV parks, we stayed 2 nights in the one in Deming or whatever, New Mexico. It was an Escapees park. We had a coupon for 2 nights there. That cost us nothing because it was free. So that's our best effort. Best is free. Our other park affiliation stuff we use is Passport America. On the whole trip, we used Passport America 1 time. Now, the biggest issue with Passport America is they have a lot of restrictions on where and when you can use the passes and things. And so, again, they're not everywhere. And so, we pay a lot for that. It typically costs about $30 a year for that membership, but we only stayed the 1 night, and I didn't figure in the cost of that membership. We actually have it. We've had it for 5 years, so it was a 5-year membership, and so we've only used it a few times during that whole, like each summer we only use it 1 or 2 times. So you start to have to kind of look at that a little bit. Same way with 1,000 Trails. We had that last year for the summer, but this summer we didn't renew that because we were not close to 1,000 Trails the whole summer. There was nothing available to us, so it wasn't worth buying or renewing that membership for that. So you got to be really careful with these different memberships that you join and everything. So campgrounds were those like the National Park Service, the different Forest Service campgrounds and things. We stayed 25 nights at campgrounds, and that averaged out to $13.12. So pretty good, and this year was way different. People were scared to travel this year. They thought costs were way too high. They couldn't handle it. We were making reservations into national park campgrounds a week before we arrived, and there was empty spots even when we were staying there. So they were very much under used this last summer. I'm not sure what next summer will bring, but that's how it was this last summer. And then finally, our final spot was we stayed at was Cracker Barrels. We love staying at Cracker Barrels because we eat. So I actually took the amount of money we spent on Cracker Barrels eating out, which was $97, and we averaged that out over our stays, which was just under $14 a night based on what we paid for the food. Okay, so, but the difference between Cracker Barrel and buying food and like Harvest Host, you pay $110 for Harvest Host, and then they want you to frequent the people you're staying at, and that can get pretty expensive for wines and things like that, or golfing. The golf package, which is $20 more added on to your normal Harvest Host. Those golfing things those fees and eating in the clubhouse can be pretty expensive. So in this case, we didn't pay anything to Cracker Barrel other than what we spent for food. So, and it was good. You loved Cracker Barrel, right?
Yeah, there's chocolates there.
Yeah, so we love those
T-shirts and
yeah. I didn't wear my T-shirt today, but I got my Scooby-Doo T-shirt there and things like that. So it's fun. It's a fun little place to visit, and there were some pretty nice ones out there on the road. And the managers are super.
Let us stay for quite a while.
Yeah, 3 nights, and we stayed at some others on the way out, and I'd just go up and talk to them and say, hey, is there any issues with us staying the night? And of course, there never is. And they say, oh, no problem at all. And if you want to stay some extra nights, just come talk to me, and that works out fine too. Just let me know. And so, they're very, very accommodating. The one in Albuquerque, when the balloon fiesta shows up, then you are limited to 1 night. Well, that's what they call it.
Fiesta?
Yeah, it's not a balloon
festival,
it's a fiesta.
Okay.
So, yeah. Always
is a
learning something
party.
new. Yeah, it is a party. So anyway, so that was our actually camping prices. So overall, just shy of $900. So not bad per night stay for 6 months. Yeah, so that worked out really well. So then we move on to one of our more expensive items was our repairs and upgrades that we did. And we're always upgrading the rig. So this kind of skews the numbers just a little bit because we always want to upgrade and make changes and everything. It's your house. That was one of my problems with my last house that we built, is that I kept upgrading and modifying and whatever. But we averaged on that, we averaged $350 a month that we did on repairs and upgrades. And that actually, some of the things that we did for the repairs and upgrades was we did buy 2 new tires for our tag axle. We got a new water pump that went out. We had to fix the refrigerator, and we had to fix the, let's see, what was the other thing we worked on besides that? Let's see. What was that? You got, and the water faucet. We got the water faucet. Did I say that one already? Okay. So we did a few things that we added on that we were pretty excited about, especially Ninette loves that water faucet now, right?
Yeah, it's very nice.
A lot better than that old one.
Yeah.
Half the time on the old one.
It's got a sprayer.
Yeah, when we'd pick up the
nice.
handle to turn the old one on, which the water didn't come out much. If you watch that video, you can watch that video here, by the way, or is it over here? But anyway, you can watch that video, and when I took it apart, the thing was completely, calcium had built up in there so much that it just sealed it off. It's just dribbling out or not coming out at all by the time we replaced it. So anyway, this new one works really nice. So, and when we were in what was that place up there north by Walnut Canyon? When we stayed at Walnut Canyon, I was looking at the tires, inspecting a little bit, and I found out one of our tag axles, the tire had a big chunk of rubber out of it, and it's just kind of breaking the tread off. They get drug around a lot when you turn with a tag axle, and so we went ahead and replaced those, put 2 new tires on. So that was kind of our big expense. So anyway, and then the next thing is that the tires were $600, so that's why that kind of moved that SKU number way up, for the average and everything. So anyway, then the next expense we had was entry fees. Now we didn't necessarily budget for these. That's kind of our entertainment thing. We didn't budget any extra. What we ended up using was, we did have a travel fund that we had money in, and so we used that to do different things. But we basically averaged about $140 a month for activities, you know, the tickets to get into wherever, okay? And the most expensive one was our helicopter ride. $473 is what that one cost. So that was the most expensive thing we did this summer. It was a lot of fun. Ninette had never been in a helicopter before. She wants to do a lot now, so I'm not sure. That might have been a mistake. Especially if we, you know, win the lottery and we can travel to Hawaii again or something. You know, so.
Jurassic Park.
Yep. So, and then the other expense we had was eating out, and I think, you know, a lot of people, you know, I have friends and stuff that, you know, are always asking, did it really only cost you, or do you really only have $2,000 a month in your budget? You know, I don't understand how you can live on that price. And actually, to some of our friends, that's a lot of money, and to others, that's nothing. So it really kind of depends on your situations. But I think where a lot of people run into issues is they are eating out all the time. And we have our home with us, so we have $400 a month configured for, you know, programmed for groceries. That's what we eat on, and so we eat at home most of the time. But during the trip, it averaged out to $138 a month, with our highest month being in May. That's when we spent the most time going out. Some of that was Cracker Barrel, so, you know, kind of double dipping here on those figures just a little bit. But $138 a month, which isn't bad.
That's a surprise.
When we are here in Yuma, we typically budget $100 a month, so it wasn't much different. And here we're going out with friends all the time and doing things. So, you know, it's just whatever, however it works out. So then the big thing I know everyone is waiting for is how much did it cost us to drive. We actually traveled 6,737 miles this summer, and we had to fill up 32 times, and the total number of gallons that we let's see, total gallons is 1,098 gallons, 1,099 gallons of gas, and the total cost for our gas this year was $3,840. So that's what we end up paying. And the interesting thing is that in our miles per gallon average, we came out 6.16 average miles per gallon. Our lowest miles per gallon was 4.6 in Kentucky by Russell Springs. That was a lot of uphill right in there, and it was a short fill-up period, so it didn't have time to really average out much better. So it was $4.62 per, or 4.62 miles per gallon. And then our highest was in Pecos, Texas, was 8.89 miles per gallon. And if you remember on that video, we were at a truck stop and we were getting gas, and I couldn't believe that it was already full. And just before that, we had driven from up by the big cave, Carlsbad National Park. We drove down to Pecos, Texas, basically 45 miles an hour. It had construction zones, and we had to stop and start, and the max speed was about 45. We got the best gas mileage. Took us a while, took a lot of while to get there, but you know, 8.89 miles a gallon for us, that's definitely a record. We enjoyed that. So, but so then let's talk about the price of gas, because I think this is where the biggest surprise of our trip. The lowest gas prices we paid, and some of this is skewed just a little bit because we do use discount cards, we use Gas Buddy, we do fill up as much as we can at Kroger gas stations, or, you know, Kroger grocery stores, because we have our food card. And so, you know, usually we're spending that $400 a month, so that's at least 40 cents off a gallon. Our son, you know, contributes on there, and he'll use our card and he'll put stuff on there. And some months, you know, they have double things, so sometimes we get up to $1 off per gallon, and you can do that for 35 gallons. So that's $35 off that we don't have to pay. So I'm not figuring out which one's Kroger's and which all that is, but our lowest price per gallon we paid was $2.37 in Cooksville, Tennessee, which was a Kroger, so that was discounted by Kroger. And then our highest gas prices was actually in St. George. We didn't have any more discounts available by that time. We ran out, and we were back in Utah at that point. It was $4.57 a gallon. But our average for the whole trip, the whole summer, we averaged out at $3.49 a gallon. So pretty cheap. Would have been a lot cheaper. I mean, back east, the gas was pretty close to $1 a gallon more than what they normally would pay back there, especially when we first went out. And so, you know, gas prices do make a big difference. And, you know, it's pretty sad that when we were back east specifically, we didn't see very many RVs. Even the RV, like I said, you know, the campgrounds were half empty and there just wasn't a lot of RVs on the road. People were getting rid of their RVs. They're all worried that they just can't afford them anymore. And being a full-time RVer, you know, we actually have the best of the situation because we don't have to go anywhere and we don't have to be anywhere. You know, when those of you that are working and you get a week vacation or 2 weeks, you know, it's go, 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 go to be done, and you don't have that luxury. But in our case, we could kind of work things out and travel as, you know, as economically as we could. So $3.49, so not bad, and it was fun.
Yep.
It was a long summer, and
Lots and lots of fun things to
that
do.
7,000 miles was a lot of miles, but we stayed a lot of places for, you know, for time. I mean, it wasn't like we were going every day, you know, like we spent a week in the Smokies. You know, we spent how long at our daughter's?
2.5 months.
2.5 months at our daughter's place in Georgia. You know, there was a number of campgrounds that we stayed at least a week, and then some that only maybe 3 or 4 nights. But
Linden
but
for a couple weeks.
oh yeah, we stayed with some friends for a couple weeks there too. So
Good old
anyway,
Oklahoma.
in Oklahoma, yeah. So we had a good time, and we got to meet a lot of you guys, and that's what makes the whole traveling thing a lot of fun. Is just all the people we meet and the things that we get to see. So it's really a fun adventure. So anyway, so then the question is, what is gonna happen this next year? Oh, one thing we did want to talk about was, what was your favorite thing? Did you figure out what your favorite thing was? Because we have a saying, right? Everyone always asks us, what's our favorite place?
It's where we are.
Where we are. Yep.
You got to make it.
You know,
Find a
every
place.
state out there,
Has something unique.
it's
and
really cool. Every
interesting.
place that you park, even if it's in a rest area, you know, some of those welcome centers and stuff were pretty
Yeah.
cool, right?
We
I mean,
like
some of
them.
the stuff that you learn and the people you talk to or the guides you get wherever you're at or whatever, and the stories and the history they can tell you about, that's what makes it all fun. So pretty much.
I think when you slow down and travel, you know, he said about when you only have 2 weeks, you can't really slow down and enjoy it. But when you do it this way and you slow down and travel, you pick up a lot more. And you're not exhausted all the time. And you can go back 2 or 3 times to a national park, you know.
We never get it all the first time,
Yeah, well, I mean, like
but you
like
can
the
go back,
rangers have
visit 2 or 3
talks and
times.
stuff, and we never got to do that before. So
Yeah.
this has been fun to learn more.
Yeah, when we stay at a national park, like if you think of Hot Springs National Park,
Oh yeah, that was a
we were
total
there.
surprise to us. I mean,
Yeah, and I think we
and
stayed,
fun.
initially we were going to be there 4 nights or something like that, 5 nights, and we actually increased it by a couple more nights because they were closed when we first got there. The Hot
Yeah, we
Springs
were
itself were
all
closed.
disappointed.
Yeah, and it was the week of our anniversary, so we ended up
then
just
it was
staying.
opening on our anniversary, so
Yep.
that was a sign we had to stay. And
Yep.
so we did.
And so, you know,
And
that
that's
was
how
the
you
whole
can
thing.
change. You can change your plan
Yeah.
as you go.
I showed you the map from last summer. That map changed quite a bit. If you look at our videos when we first put the map out to when we finally finished the trip, things changed. You know,
Yep.
Chattanooga was never on our spots to go. We just at the
we
last
had a
minute,
friend there.
yeah, we just at the last minute said, "Oh, that would," and we started looking at all the things you could do in the different areas, and there's so much popping up with Chattanooga. That we thought, you know what, we got to go this way instead. And so we didn't go to Knoxville, Tennessee. We went down back around and went through Chattanooga. I'm going to mess that up more. But, and so we got to see our friends and everything. So that was really pretty
That was
cool.
a
And
fun little state or city.
you know, we had
Interstate.
a subscriber, you know, that reached out to us and said they were up in North Carolina, And so we
Yeah,
got
that
to,
was fun.
we diverted our trip to, we were pretty close to where they were going to be, so it wasn't too much of a diversion, but it was fun to go stay at their place, and we went out and we went bike riding together with
yeah.
those guys. That was a lot of fun. So you know, just because you plan out something on a map and things like that, what I tell people is that RV Trip Wizard, it allows us to put the different places on there we're going to be, and it tells you when you're going to run out of gas, all these different places, so you can kind of just pre-plan about, you know, it's like, okay, by this time we're going to be out of gas because we set that our minimum is 25 gallons. So when we're down to 25 gallons left in our tank, we need to be filling up again. Our tank is 75 gallons. So we can start looking at towns before that, and we use Gas Buddy to do all the searching of prices. Plus, RV Trip Wizard has an option there. When you right click on it, it'll come up and give you the gas prices also. So we got a couple different methods to look at pricing in the area and pick out places that have good pricing. You know, one of the best places we got gas was in Oklahoma, just before we got to Pawhuska. Did I say it right this time?
Pawhuska.
That's it, right? For Pioneer Woman. Before we got, we're not that town, but the one before that had some really good prices on gas, and so we just right in there and filled the tank up and went on our way. So, you know, it's just a way to plan your trips and everything, but you know, you definitely need to keep it open, and when you're full-time, you can do that. We don't have to go everywhere, and we don't have to complete everything that trip around, because you know, we pick up some of the highlights, but eventually, you know, we keep learning more, so eventually we'll go back and do some more in those areas. And that's what's going to happen a little bit this summer, this coming summer. So we're already planning out summer of 2023. So if you look here, you can see our map here. We are going to be duplicating some of the areas we've been in before. So we'll be able to look up new things that are in those areas. But we're also going to add to our trip just a little bit. Now, last year, we hadn't figured out once how many extra states we end up. Do you remember? How many?
16 states.
16 states, and
Well, yeah.
a lot of those were new.
Yeah.
We went to a lot of national parks, more than, I mean, every time we turned around there was a national park. So it was like, wow, we didn't even know there was one in Hot Springs, for example, and so we went there. But now if you look at this map here, this one here, we're going to actually go back out to South Dakota. When we originally went full-time, we took out our residency in South Dakota, and it was in outside of Rapid City, and you got the monuments there. So we went to the monument, but they also have Custard State Park or something there. They have they have Badlands National Park. You know, there's a bunch of things around there. Wall Drug.
Oh, yeah, gotta go there.
It's like we were at a friend's yesterday, you know, just talking to him that are here at the park working, and on his camper he's got a thing that says, "Where is Wall Drug?" Or, you know, something about that. And it's like, it's on every sign, billboard that you see when you're driving around South Dakota. So it's always talking about Wall Drug, Wall Drug. So we'll actually be back up there, so we can, I don't think we actually went to it the last time. It was only a 2-day trip, you know, so we were kind of in and out real fast just to get our residency established. They only have to stay there one night, so we stayed there actually 2 nights, and then we took off. But this time we'll be able to stay in the area for a little while. We'll get to go visit Badlands National Park, and then we're going to work our way up through North Dakota up to
the little town of Ninette.
Yep, the little town of Ninette
In Canada.
Manitoba, Canada. So
Where
that'll
we have
be
new
exciting.
friends.
And we have some friends that live in Brandon, so we're going to stop and see them. They were on our last video, actually. They're both of those couples are from Brandon, pretty close to there anyway. The Mike and Mike and Lori and Jen are from Brandon, so we'll stop and see them there. And then we have a really fun lady that you've met before on pickleball. Her name's Terry. She lives in, well, just outside of Regina. What is that one? That's Saskatchewan, I think it was. Yeah. We'll have all those provinces figured out by the end of this next summer. So, because we're going to be spending quite a bit of time in Canada, and then we're going to work our way over to Banff. Everyone always talks about Banff, so we're going to go there, and then we're going to drop back down into Washington, and well, actually down into Montana. So we hope we can see some friends that we have up there in Montana. Work our way over to the middle of Washington, where we have some friends that you'll be meeting here probably in a couple more weeks, that we're going to be talking to them about. they make their own, roast their own coffee beans and make their own setup there and everything. So we'll have them on our channel, and we'll be talking to them. They're our new friends that we've met here at Sundance, and so we'll spend a little bit of time with them, and then we'll work our way over to the coast. Actually, we're going to work our way up to Port Angeles again. We've been there before, but we're going to park the rig at Port Angeles because we don't want to pay for the ferry for the rig. It's like $700-800 for the ferry ride. But we're going to take the car. We're going to park our rig in Port Angeles somewhere and take our car and go spend some time with some friends, other friends that we have in Victoria Island that we've known since last year that are back down here again. So that'll be fun. And then we'll go down to our long family friends that live on Long Beach Peninsula in Washington and spend some time with them. But even during that whole trip, we're hoping to get down to down by Yosemite in California. We're going to go up through Utah so we can see our family, and we're going to come back down through Utah so we can see our family and friends again that we have, because we kind of missed out on all that this last summer.
We did see him a little bit.
At the very end, we seen him, and
we
got
saw
to
him in
say
Georgia.
hi. Some of them flew into Georgia. Yeah, so that was fun. Yeah. So we'll be able to see everybody. So it's going to be a fun little adventure that's coming up. But in the meantime, we have other things coming up here in Yuma too. So the next video will be a fun one. We'll be showing you something. It's called Howling at the Moon. We make up things around here to do. So our next video will be on that. But then we also have the big white tent sale that will be a big white tent RV show that will be going on in Quartzsite. We'll be doing a number of videos on that. And then on top of that, that's in January, and on top of that, I'm actually doing 2 presentations for RV Life. So RV Trip Wizard, I'm actually going to be doing 2 presentations there for them, so that's pretty exciting. Plus Cal-Am, well, we think at this point Cal-Am will have a booth there, because we still have tickets available for Cal-Am to stay here at Sundance RV Park. So just reach out to us. You can use our contact form. You can put comments there or whatever, and we'll work it out where you can get some tickets so that you guys can go and you can come and stay here for 3 nights for free if you'd like. So there are stipulations, of course, but we can discuss that with you when you get a hold of us. So let us know in that contact. You don't have to give us your number, but if you want to give us your phone number, then we'll text you back and forth and we'll get stuff to you. But it's going to be busy, and we've got less than 5 months now left.
4.5.
It's going fast, huh?
I know.
It's going really fast.
It always goes fast.
Yeah. So anyway, so with that said, that kind of finishes our summary at this point. It was a lot of fun. It was 180 nights. It's hard to, it was a lot of nights, but it just went by so fast, and it must be the older you get, the faster the days go by, I guess. I don't know, but we definitely are on a whirlwind here. So we're having a lot of fun doing our adventures. We really thank you for coming out and participating with us and having fun with our adventures. And reaching out to us when we're in your area and letting us come by and meet you and everything. So, and Tansy's had fun. She's the traveling gypsy right here. She's been all over the place, and she's always the star of the show. Everyone just loves her. She's the cute little girl. Our little. Well, you're cute too.
Okay.
So anyway, I guess with that said, we'll hope to see you down the road, and we're here in Yuma at Sundance RV Resort. Feel free to reach out, come by and visit us if you're in the area, and then feel free to reach out for the free tickets. You can stay a few nights. We can go sit out in the hot tub or something, or you can get your laundry done. There's no obligation. We don't make anything from that. We just want to meet you. So come by and let's say hi and let's talk and everything. So otherwise, we'll just plan on seeing you on our next video, and the next one is going to be Howling of the Moon. Got to think about it. We are getting behind again because there's too many things going on. Something going on every day, every minute. So anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
Bye.